I'm Matt Scalzo, joined alongside Evan Papalis for today's game. Evan, last time Penn State took the field, they fell to Villanova in a barn burner 13-12. They had a chance late in the game, were not able to convert. What should they be looking to do today in order to turn the tide?
Yeah, Matt, Penn State's looking for a faster start today. In their first two games against Lafayette and Villanova, Penn State was behind heading into the locker room at the half. So looking for more goals early on in this contest. It's not going to be easy for Penn State as well because Vermont is a scrappy squad.
Now turning our attention over to the Vermont side, they're 0-2 on the year. They started the season ranked 17 in the preseason poll. Won on the road, took on Duke, fell in that one, who was preseason number 3. And then they came home last week, or over the weekend in Burlington rather. They fell to Utah 11-10, and they boast one of the best face-off guys in the country in Tommy Burke. What are they looking to do this year today in order to get back in the win column?
Yeah, those two teams that they played in the beginning, Utah and of course number 3 Duke at the time, they're pretty good squads, but today it's going to be possessing the ball. Tommy Burke is a great face-off man. We're going to see him right away here at the face-off X, and they just want to get the possession in this one and find quality possession and find the back of the net.
It is Burke and Glatz at the face-off X, and we are underway, and it's a clean win that time by Glatz, but he had a violation there, and it'll be Vermont possession to take over. They're heading from right to left as Penn State will head from left to right. Vermont in the all-green uniforms to start this one. Brock Haley up through the middle of the field into the attacking zone, and he'll retreat back out to the left side and throw it back to the center circle logo where Vermont will set up their offense. This time it's over. And ripping a shot that time was Griffin Fennick, and he misses wide, but on the containing possession this time is Vermont, and now setting up behind X is Liam Limoges. Drops it behind to Haley, back to X. He curls his way along the left side of the goal, back out in front. Taking a shot that time was Thomas McCovey, and that's deflected back over the line, and Vermont will retain possession once again.
Good redirection there by the Penn State defensive long sticks to get that one away from Fyack.
Working his way behind X, and now over to the right side is Klosterman. Setting up, he's working against the short stick Townsend. He throws it back out in front, skips over the cage, and now over to the left side here with Michael McCormack as he sets up the offense, working his way back out to the middle. Now it's with Haley, working his way against Haas, coming down the left side, rips a shot on goal, and that's saved that time by Fyack. An outlet pass up to Haas, skips away from him. Now on the chase that time is Sutton Boland. He's able to keep it in play, but Vermont will pick up the loose ball. It's a ground ball. And Vermont will come back the other way with 13:45 left to go in the first quarter. Still no score between Vermont and Penn State.
This is exactly what the Catamounts were looking to do in this game, get possession of the ball and make Penn State's defense have to work. Now a fresh shot clock and basically another minute that Vermont can take to just set up their offense and figure out a way to eventually get the icebreaker.
Working his way behind the cage is Fennick, spinning to the right side here, and he'll drop it back to X. Coming up is Klosterman here, spins on the right side, and now he'll outlet it back up to McCormack here on the far right side. Darting into the middle here, coming and taking a jump shot from the left side, and that's another save for Fyack. Loose ball on the ground. It's picked up that time by Vermont, and they'll set up once again on the right alley. It's Haley.
Grant Haas, number 2 for Penn State. They're the defensive short stick midfielder. Has to come away with that ground ball right there. It's laying right in front of his goal in front of Fyack. Unable to scoop that up, and Vermont's going to get another 60 seconds to work.
Jonas Hunter in, and he's coming down the right side and cuts to the left. Working against Townsend still, and he resets back up towards the middle. 12:30 left to go in the first quarter. He zings it over to the right side. It's McCunvey. McCunvey cutting in, rips a shot, misses high over the bar. But back there at X was Klosterman, and will hold possession again for Vermont. 27 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, Vermont hasn't been afraid to sling this ball at Fyack's goal, but Penn State also, their defense is just shifting too far low, it feels like, from up here in the booth.
It's J.J. Lewandowski here on the left alley, darting down the line here, coming in on Haas, rips a shot on Fyack, that misses right side. It'll go out of bounds, but Vermont again will retain possession. Only 11 seconds to shoot here as Liam Limoges sets up on the far side alley. Coming towards X here, working his way to the left side of the cage, coming in, guarded that time by Parnham, spins into the middle, lets a shot go, he scores! Liam Limoges able to spin inside on Parnham and beat Fyack down low, and it's 1-0 Catamounts with 12:03 left to go in the first quarter.
Well, Penn State hasn't even touched the ball offensively yet in this game, man. 2 minutes, 57 seconds in. Vermont has to feel really good after getting possession off the beginning, and it felt like Penn State was going to be able to get that clear early on, but the Catamounts coming right back, long possessions, finally come to fruition, hitting that twine.
It's Glatz and Burke again in the face-off dot, and another error that time by Glatz, and Vermont will take over possession once again. It's Jonas Hunter, excuse me, coming down the left side here. And he'll reset it back up to the top. It's with Charlie Pope and over to Lewandowski on the far side, just in front of the Vermont sideline. Coming down the right sideline, or right alley, excuse me, is Lewandowski. Back to X, it's Limoges. Working his way to the left side up to Hunter. Coming into the middle here. He'll swing it over to the right side. It's Klosterman working his way in. Down goal line extended, spins back in. Drops it back outside. Hunter working into the middle here. He's forced to back out again. Over to Pope. Darting into the middle here. He's working against Sweeney. Trying to cut into the middle. He's able to do so. Rips a shot and he buries it. Charlie Pope, a bounce shot, beats Fyock. And just like that, it's 2-0 Catamounts with 11:16 left to go.
Right there again, it's the Penn State defense just mushing in too far down low and letting Vermont have those shots up farther at the top of the restraining box. The Penn State defender needs to step up and take the man there. I like the slide that Pupuno had on that play down on that far side alleyway, but then giving up top again for Vermont to strike.
That's Pope's second of the season, and another face-off that time is won by Vermont in Burke. Up along the right side, he's darting down the right alley. He's able to step free from Glatz. He drops it now to Colin Sharkey on the field, and he'll set up the Catamount offense with 11 minutes left to go in the first quarter. It's Haley running down the right side, and he'll slow things down behind the goal. Guarded by Townsend, he tries to go right side. Townsend on him closely, curls around, lets a shot go. That's save made by Fyock, but Limoges jumping on the rebound, and we'll set up the Vermont offense again with 60 seconds left to shoot.
Penn State needs to get more hungry for defensive rebound opportunities. It's way too easy right now for Vermont to get it back offensively.
McConvey drops it to Limoges at X. Over to the left side here. Coming, it is Fennick. It's 8-0 shots in favor of Vermont as Fennick works behind X. Curls to the right side, drops it down to McConvey. Loose ball. He takes the shot that time. Save made by Fyock. And now Penn State will try and clear here. On the right side, it's Funk, and he'll drop it down to the goaltender Fyock up to Haas. And he'll try and work his way across center, and he's able to do so with 10 minutes left to go. Penn State has their first offensive possession of this game, as setting up behind X is Will Peden. He's darting towards the right side, and he'll throw it out and set it up with Dan Rayome.
That was a really good clearing effort there by Penn State. They've only had 2 missed clears in each game respectively leading into this one. That was good to make up for that first missed clear earlier on.
Peden with X, he's working to the right side, over to Rayome on the right alley. Cutting into the middle. Now he's starting goal line extended, drops it to Peden. Coming out on the left side, throws it down into the middle. Aldridge loses the pass there. A loose ball, a scrap for it. It's picked up this time. Still loose, and Cornell, the goal, dives out to reach it. And Vermont able to control possession here on the ground ball. Penn State on their first offensive possession, not able to get a shot away. And Vermont takes over 9:05 as Cornell clears it up across over to Colin Sharkey.
That was a great skip pass there from X up to the top of the restraining box to Kyle Aldridge. Thought he was going to be able to crank one there running down that right side, and a potential opportunity to give Penn State its first goal of the game, but it just hops right out of his stick and then couldn't find it.
Now Vermont again taking over behind the goal. It's Klosterman losing his footing, but he's able to recover and sling it over to Limoges here. Left side goal line, extend behind the goal line now. Working his way up along the right side. He'll sling it out to the middle with 8:28 left to go in the first quarter. 2-0 Vermont leading. It's Lewandowski here darting along the right side in the middle of the field. Drops it behind to Haley. Swinging around the left side, he lets a shot go, and that misses wide. But Vermont will retain possession once again. Lewandowski picks it up. 24 seconds left to shoot.
Fyock's been strong in this game early on, but notice Vermont's taking a ton of those bounce shots, trying to roll up in front of GLE at the cage.
Lewandowski working his way to the right side of goal line extended. Drops it behind McCunvey. Up top, working his way to the left side, darting into the middle, lets a shot go, and that is saved by Fayok. Shot clock reset there. Maybe it caught the pipe that time, as now it's McCormack setting up along the top of the box here. Throws it over right side. Halley has to go over and grab it. And now he'll work slowly behind as it's dropped to Limoges, goal line extended. Fayok already up to 5 saves in this one. Just 8 minutes gone, 7:30 left to go in the first quarter. Limoges back to X, working his way along the right side. Lets a shot go. That misses to the left, but again, behind the net that time is Brock Haley. He's able to retain possession. 28 seconds left on the shot clock here for the Catamounts. Throw it out in front. Limoges on the doorstep. He buries it. Liam Limoges off the feed from Haley. And it's 3-0 Catamounts. 7:17 left to go in the first quarter.
The second goal of the game already, 5th of the season now in this young campaign for Limoges. And he just goes right through a crumbling Penn State defense. The Nittany Lions are in shambles right now trying to pick up their man. They have been basically exhausted early on through this first half of the first quarter because they've been playing defense the entire time.
The Toronto, Ontario native, as you mentioned, his 5th of the season as Glatz and Burke are back in the face-off circle. And another draw that time. Actually, no, that time it is won by Glatz, picking up the ground ball. And Penn State will set up. It looked like Burke was going to win that draw, but not able to scoop it up. And Penn State will set up the offense with 7:04 left to go in the first quarter. Over to the right side, it's Jake Morin. Back up to Sickler, they work it around the horn. As it comes back over to Morin, right side on the right alley. Getting ahead of speed, he jumps into the middle. Working his way over to the left side, he drops it goal line extended. That time it skips away from Peden, and it's a turnover for Penn State. 2 disastrous possessions thus far for the Nittany Lions, and Vermont will look to clear again.
This one ends up being a bad pass by Penn State, and here comes an easy clear right here for Vermont.
Cornell with a long pass up to Klosterman, and now it's McCormack feeding in front that time. Spinning is Jacobs, and he has the the ball knocked away. And possession will stay with Vermont as McCormack able to keep Mark Sickler away from the ball. 6:20 left to go in the first quarter. It's been all Vermont thus far. Hunter here on the right side, cutting in on Haas. He has to drop it now behind to X. It's Klosterman working his way along the right side. Lets a shot go. He's got it again. David Klosterman able to beat Fayok, and it's 4-0 Vermont. 6:08 left in the first quarter.
The Catamounts coaching staff, they have done their homework coming into this matchup against the Nittany Lions. It's get the ball behind the cage at X and then roll up GLE on either side. Look for the bounce shots. This one's not going to be a bounce shot. It'll stay in the air, but just beats Fayok. The Penn State defense too slow right now and letting the Catamounts offensive personnel just get above them, and that is one thing that they always preach. Do not let them get above you.
Shots 15-0 in favor of Vermont, and it's 4-0 for Klosterman, his 4th of the season. And now Glatz and Burke battle at the face-off circle. Ball squirts away, and it'll be picked up by Nick Alviti and the Catamounts, and they'll set up in their own defensive end as it's dropped to Cornell. Throws it up through middle to Alviti, and he'll do a long skip pass down into the offensive end over to McCormack, and he picks it up on the far right corner. 5:43, Vermont back on the offensive end once again. It's Klosterman in the right alley. And they'll throw it out to Hunter to set things up. Over to the near side alley, it's with Fennick. Darts down the left side. Here he's got a step on Townsend, and he resets back to GLE. Drops it behind the net, this time with Limoges. Curling to the right side, and there'll be a crease violation that time on Vermont. A turnover there, and a clear that time by Funk up to Parnham, and Penn State into the offensive end. Right side GLE with Barry. Drops it to Peden now on the right side. Excuse me, the left side now. Over to the left alley, and he'll slow things, set up the offense. Over to Kyle Aldridge here, spinning that time. He'll drop it out again. Over here to the right alley, it's with Riom. Able to beat his defender here, coming into the middle here. He's going to let a shot go, and that sails over the bar. Penn State able to retain possession that time with Jack Trainer behind the net. Coming out to the right side, he's on the right GLE, back to goal. Here he comes over to the left side now. trying to work his way into the middle. He's able to do so. Lets a shot go. That misses over the bar. 37 seconds left to go on the shot clock here. It's Peden over to the right side. And now back up top, it's Costin. Darting down the right line. He's got to step on his defender. Lets a shot go. Save made by Cornell. Ball loose on the turf. And the ground ball would be picked up by Cornell, but a push that time called on Vermont, and Penn State will keep possession.
Loose ball push right there. Penn State could not afford to lose another possession.
4:18 left to go in the first quarter. It's Aldridge coming along the left side. Lets his bounce shot go, and that misses to the right side, but Penn State able to retain possession. Oh, so close to their first goal. 50 seconds left to shoot. And it's back up top with Costin. Over at the center circle, slings it right side, Rayon. Darting down the right alley. Cuts into the middle, drops it behind to X with Peden. Over to the left alley now with Jack Trainer. Guarded closely by Sharkey here. He dodges to the left, now cuts back middle, and he'll drop it to X. Peden working his way, front in net, and there he is, he scores! Will Peden on the doorstep, able to beat the goaltender Cornell. And Penn State on the board here, 4-1, Vermont still leads, but with 3:46, Penn State finally able to get on the board.
That's as easy as it's going to get for Penn State. Just a little two-man tandem behind the goal. Gets it over to this near side, coming up above GLE. Easy goal right there for the Nittany Lions. And it's going to start to chip away at this Vermont advantage and maybe creep a little bit of confidence into the Nittany Lions game.
Peden able to fake high, go low, and beat Cornell. As now the face-off dot is once again controlled by Vermont. Tommy Burke beating Jake Glatz at the center circle. And now it's dropped to Cornell. For Peden, that's his 4th of the season, assisted that time by Jack Trainer. And a long pass up ahead as Fayok had left the cage. And ripping a shot that time and barely missing that time as now Vermont sets up on the offensive end. McCormack on the left alley. Drops it out to midfield here. As coming on is McConvey. Thomas McConvey picks up speed, coming in, drops it to the right side goal, GLE with Klosterman.
Steps in the crease there.
Another crease violation that time with 3:10 left to go in the first quarter for Vermont. And Penn State once again will take over on the offensive end. The clear completed that time as Peck throws it, but it skips away from Sickler, and Trainer able to save it. Now falling down, he throws it back out into the field. Sickler racing after it. Ground ball now picked up by Vermont. He's hounded that time on the ride, but he's able to sling it over that time with Jack Fitch. As now Vermont able to get the ball back off the failed clear by Penn State.
That's 3 turnovers now for Penn State. 3 unforced turnovers too. It's just bad passing right now, sloppy play from the Nittany Lions. That's why they're in this deficit.
And now it's Charlie Pope coming out through the midfield, working his way along the side. Now behind the goal, he drops it to Limoges, and he'll set up, guarded by Kevin Parnham. Darting in a backhand shot, misses over the bar. Vermont able to retain possession. 45 seconds left on the shot clock. 2:16 remaining in the first quarter. It's a 4-1 Vermont lead, as now it's Pope working his way right side. Drops it out in front. Haley, step down, rocket, he scores! Brock Haley, a bounce shot under the bar, beats Fayok, and it's 5-1 Vermont.
There's no defender for the Nittany Lions within 5 yards, it feels like there. A wide open opportunity there for Brock Haley. He's going to come more with that overhand 3-4 shot, and Fayok not going to have an opportunity there. 5-1 as it's going to have to take a timeout here.
Head coach Jeff Tambroni opting to take a timeout here as Penn State finds themselves down 5-1. And we'll step aside here for a quick break on Big Ten Plus and Com Radio. Vermont up 5-1.
NCAA Women's Ice Hockey Frozen 4 is coming here to Penn State. Our beautiful Googla Ice Arena will host the national championship weekend with the national semifinals March 18th and the national championship game on March 20th. Be there to be crowned the 2022 Women's Ice Hockey National Champion. All session or single session tickets both on sale now at Ticketmaster.com/Penn State.
at Panzer Stadium. It's a 5-1 Vermont lead here with 2:09 left to go in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, I'm Matt Scalzo, joining alongside Evan Papalis. And Evan, we talked about in the pregame, Vermont was going to control possession at the face-off dot. They've done that, and they've been able to control possession on the offensive end as well.
Absolutely. Play to your identity. Vermont has done that so far, and they're attacking behind the cage offensively, and it's giving the Nittany Lions fits.
And that time, Jake Glatz winning the draw here as they'll set up offensively. Jack Trainer along the left alley, and he'll drop it out to Jake Moore up at the center circle. Penn State coming from left to right here in their gray alternate uniforms, blue helmet. And here comes Mark Sickler down the left alley, drops it to X. It skips away that time from Barry, and that'll go out of play. And another turnover, that time by Penn State. And Vermont will take over once again.
Yeah, these unforced turnovers, it's going to be the end of Penn State. Like I've said, coming into the pregame show, they haven't been ahead at half in either of their games so far against Lafayette or Villanova. So getting ahead early was going to be huge for them, and they have just been crumbling defensively.
And there's a turnover that time by Vermont. It won't hurt them as badly as Cornell, the goaltender, came all the way out, tried to loft it over the goal of Fayok down to Limoges at X, but it skips away. And now Penn State coming up the other way. It's with Rayom, and he'll slowly work his way out to center here with 1:10 left to go in the first quarter. Bourne here along the right side, cutting into the middle. Now he dodges right, then back left. He has to reset the offense once again. I'm under a minute here left to go in the first corner. Now it's Morin right side. He skips it back out to Riom. Coming left side, cutting into the middle. He rips a shot, a bounce shot. He's got it again. Dan Riom finds the back of the net, and Penn State able to cut the lead down to 3. It's a 5-2 Vermont lead with 46 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
Great play right there by Dan Riom. He just gets the ball. He's going to cut over that Rideau line. That's basically cutting the field in half vertically. He gets over on that left side, goes charging down that slot area, if you want to call it that. Gets a nice bounce shot with the left hand and able to beat Cornell. Penn State, they needed a goal before heading in to the end of the first quarter, and they're able to get it. Let's see if anyone can add any more.
For Rayom, that's his 5th of the season, an unassisted goal, and now back at the face-off circle. It's a battle for the loose ball here. Ground ball on the ground, and it'll be picked up by Glatz in Penn State, and he drops it to Townsend, who will set up the Penn State offense with 34 seconds left in the first quarter. Gets it over to the left alley with Peden. Now coming into the left side, he spins, tries to drop it, and he'll reset the offense back with Jack Kelly. 20 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Cross field pass to Brent Fleck. He lets a low shot go, and that save is made by Cornell.
That's fantastic right there by Cornell. Give your team that 3-goal cushion heading in to the end of the first quarter, because if Penn State's able to cut it within 2, they feel like they have a better opportunity to keep it close here. But it's going to be that 3-goal advantage for the Catamounts.
That'll do it for the first quarter. It's a 5-2 Vermont lead over Penn State. Shots heavily in favor of Vermont, 18-7. And as you mentioned, we've mentioned it throughout the broadcast, that face-off dot was heavily important for Vermont in that early going. Penn State crawled it back. They now have won 3 to Vermont's 5. But that early possession, that first goal, they had 3 minutes of possession before they were able to find the back of the net.
Absolutely. Vermont did exactly what they needed to do, get possession, slow the game down, but still give yourself quality opportunities in the offensive zone, and they've done that in this game so far. 5 goals in the opening quarter. That's fantastic if you're a Catamount fan. For Penn State, they were slacking early on, down 5-1 in the face-off department. They win the last 2 in the quarter, and they're able to get that late tally there, cut it within 3 goals, and a little bit of momentum going for Jeff Tambroni's squad, and we'll just have to see how the second quarter unfolds.
We'll step aside here for a quick break. Vermont up 5-2 after the first quarter of play here on Big Ten Plus and Com Radio. 5-2, the Vermont advantage as we come into the second quarter of play here on Big Ten Plus. I'm Matt Scouser, joined alongside Evan Papalis. And Evan, we touched on it, the face-off dot being a big possession changer here for Vermont. If you're Penn State, how do you get back into this? They've had a lot of unforced errors. Is it kind of cleaning up on those?
Yeah, they need to clean up the unforced turnovers right now, Matt. It's been pretty pitiful. That first half of the first quarter, I'd say, really bit Penn State in the behind as they were just trying to get possession of the ball in the offensive end after Vermont had it for basically the first 5 minutes or so of this game, and just sloppy passing leading to plays that went out of bounds. In the face-off X, Vermont basically able to win it every time cleanly with Tommy Burke, besides one time, I'd say. But Penn State needs to rally and get behind Burke and see if they can scrap and get that loose ball before any Catamounts are able to scoop it up.
It'll be Glatz and Burke again in this face-off dot. Penn State switching sides, going from right to left, Vermont from left to right. And we are underway here, and it'll be a loose ball, and it will be scooped up that time by Nick Alviti and the Catamounts. It looked like Glatz was going to grab it, but not able to do so. And now Vermont setting up here on the right side. It's McCormack dropping it down. GLE is Klosterman, and he'll work his way back up to center.
Yeah, that was a good effort there by Glatz on that faceoff. Kept it close there with Burke throughout for about 3 or 4 seconds. They were able to win it out, and then all of a sudden he just trips basically going for that scoop, and that's what led to Vermont getting possession.
It's Griffin Fennick here coming along the right side, cutting into middle, dodges to the right and drops it to X here with McCormack. Slings it out here in a spin dodge that time by Haley. He drops it over and buried into the back of the net that time by Limoges. His third of the game, already a hat trick for the senior, and it's 6-2. Vermont up in the second quarter with 14:10 left to go in the second quarter, just 50 seconds in.
Yeah, able to get that feed right out in front there. Basically no Nittany Lions in the vicinity again as the little dump pass right in front of the goal, and Fayok has no opportunity to make the save on that one. So Penn State gonna have to find a way to crawl back in this one. Vermont basically cruising at this point of the contest.
Glatz and Burke battle once again, and that face-off that time is won by Tommy Burke, and Vermont will set up once again. Coming down the left alley here, it's with Limoges, and he'll set up the offense, dropping it now to Lewandowski, who will drop it to Hunter, who's come in through the middle. 13:47 left to go. It's a 6-2 Vermont lead if you're just joining us. And here comes Charlie Pope, darting down the right side, lets the shot go. Save made by Fayok, a quit outlet up to Hawes, and he'll work his way a clear that time by Penn State. They working quickly here on the fast break. It's Peden at X. Slings it over to Trainer, left side, and he'll reset the offense once again.
That was a difficult decision right there for Grant Haas, the short stick defensive midi. He's coming up. They have numbers due Penn State, but he decides better of it to say that we need a possession here and get a goal in the end and not rush things to potentially turn it over again.
It's Aldridge darting down the right side, drops it to Riom, steps in left side, he lets a bounce shot go, he scores! Dan Riom cuts the lead in half, and it's 3-6. Penn State trailing with 13:04 left to go. The redshirt senior out of Beverly Hills, Michigan, able to bury it past Cornell's near side.
That's beautiful there. You get the skip pass there from Aldridge, and all of a sudden Riom has a little bit of movement space there. He comes crashing down, as you're seeing right here, and he waits just the last second and then gets that shot low right in that bottom left corner. No chance right there for Cornell. Penn State trying to chip away.
For Riom, that's his 6th of the season, the 3rd for Penn State today. And we're back underway at Battle 4 at the face-off X. Loose ball still there. It'll be
that's a push.
A push called on Penn State, and it'll be It'll be Penn State possession, actually. There's a little bit of confusion as Alviti picked up the ball, but he'll drop it, and Townsend will set up for Penn State. As he slings it up to Costin, he and Townsend subs out, and Riom back on the field. 12:47 left to go. It's Aldridge darting down the right alley here, working his way, drops it to Peden, left side, GLE, slings it out up top. Costin darts right side, now back out behind here with Trainer. Stumbles a little, but able to regain his bounce, and he drops it to X with Peden. Curling his way to the right side, forced back, and it's Rayom now behind the goal. Coming out towards the right side. He'll drop it out, and it's Aldridge now setting up along the left side. Dodges towards the middle. He lets a bounce shot go, and that misses high. But Penn State able to retain possession here with 37 seconds left on the shot clock. It'll be Peden on the possession reset.
The passing game for Penn State in the offensive zone has not been crisp in my eyes so far in this one, Matt. And that's why I feel like Vermont has also had that advantage as well.
No look pass by Peden, finds Aldridge on the step down, and he misses to the left that time. Penn State able to retain possession, though. 30 seconds left on the shot clock here. Trainer steps down, and he buries it top shelf. Jack Trainer steps down from the left side, and an overhead shot, able to beat Cornell cleanly. And 2 straight goals for Penn State has them back in it, just down by 2.
Good afternoon, Jack Trainer. Way to let that baby rip right there. On basically almost in the alleyway, it felt like. As you're going to see here, he's going to receive a pass from Rayom here as play gets back underway. He gets it, waiting for that short stick mini to come out, and he says, I'll take that, and just pings that crossbar and hits Twine.
Trainer led the team with goals coming into today. 8 make it 9. And Penn State here within 2. 11:53 left to go as Glatz and Burke. This is a battle at the face-off dot. Neither side able to really regain any possession. Loose ball that time scooped up by Vermont in Clay Weiss. And now they'll set up on the offensive end as Klosterman races out to middle. And he'll wait for reinforcements here as he passes it over to Thomas McCunvey. And he'll set up on the center circle logo. Left alley here. It's now with Halley. Drops it behind Limoges. Skip pass over to the right side. McCunvey steps into it. He misses wide, but they'll able to retain possession here as Limoges closest to the ball with 55 seconds left on the shot clock. Back up top, it's with Haley. Down into middle. He's working his way to the right side over to Thomas McCunvey. Dodges right side, has a step on his defender. Coming into the middle, save made by Fyock. And a ground ball pickup that time by Brett Funk. He'll get it over to Haas, and he'll able to complete the clear with 10:53 numbers here for Penn State. Haas drops it to Trainer. He's going to let it fly again. Save made that time by Cornell. Trainer tried to go low to high and find that far post, but Cornell read it perfectly. 10:37 here, Vermont looking to try and complete the clear here, working it along their defensive end. Now back up into the middle, it's Fenech spinning away from Buno. He's able to complete the clear, and with 10:25, Vermont setting up their offense.
That was the first little bit of action we've seen that you could call a track meet, Matt. Both teams going back and forth on the offensive end, and it looks like Vermont's going to be the team to take a timeout here as they're looking for an opportunity to go back up by 3 goals.
Timeout taken by Vermont. 10:20 left to go in this. We'll step aside here for a quick break. Vermont up 6-4 here on Com Radio over Penn State. Back at Panzer Stadium here on Big Ten Plus. Vermont up over Penn State 6-4 here in the second quarter, but Penn State starting to crawl back into it here. 2 quick goals have them within 2 here.
Yeah, this game feels a lot closer, Matt, when Penn State isn't turning the ball over by just them doing sloppy passes. When they've been able to possess the ball, it feels like both sides are pretty even-keeled in this game. Vermont, they've been playing pretty well offensively. This is a scrappy squad, and they've been showing it so far.
Vermont on the offensive end. It's Charlie Pope. Gets it back out up top here. Lewandowski here. He'll work his way to the right side, lets a sidearm bounce shot go. That misses high, and with 31 seconds left on the shot clock, they'll retain possession. Liam Moj will set up behind the goal. 9:55 left to go in the second quarter.
I felt like Lewandowski just didn't get enough on that one. He had an opportunity there to just let it fly, and kind of felt like he just missed a little bit of speed on that release.
McCormack up top. He'll set it back up over to Lewandowski. Lewandowski darting down the left side, working against the short stick in Townsend. Back over to Pope. We're curling his way to the right side. Goal line extended, lets a shot go. Save made by Fyock. A flag down, and it will be on Penn State.
Let's see what the call is here. I wasn't sure if it was a high hit, potentially on Penn State. The referee's still talking about it.
It'll be Townsend to head to the box.
Looks like a potential cross check to the head. Checking out that replay right now. Getting pretty scrappy there with Townsend as he's trying to assert himself defensively, not giving up the high side and getting over the top there to the Vermont offense. That's been a huge problem in this game for the Nittany Lions defense against the Catamounts.
It'll be a 1-minute man-up opportunity here for Vermont. It'll be Klosterman to set up on the right side. Vermont thus far on the season struggled on the man-up. They're 1 for 5. It's Klosterman on the right side, drops it to Limoges. Back out to Klosterman on the doorstep right side. He's able to miss it just high over the bar. He was trying to go low to high that time on Fyock, but not able to convert.
There was no need for that sidearm shot. It's way more difficult to be accurate with those sidearm shots, and Fyock had to stick out on the right side of the goal. That needs to be a bounce shot or trying to sneak it in on that short side.
Back out to the right side, it's McCormack. Now over left side, Limoges, and Vermont working quickly here. A drop pass to McCunvey. Over to Jonathan McCunvey now. On the doorstep, it's Klosterman. He's able to convert that time on the sidearm. Curling his way behind from X, and Vermont capitalizes on the man up. It's 7-4 Catamounts with 8:52 left to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, this ball movement on this goal-scoring play on the man-up opportunity, we're going to see it right here. It's a great feed down low. Nobody covering there as Klosterman gets it in. Excellent one-on-one chance there with Fyock, and 9 times out of 10, the offensive personnel is going to win that battle.
Some tic-tac-toe passing gives Klosterman his 5th goal of the season. It's 7-4 Vermont, and they are able to control possession again on the face-off dot. And they'll slowly work their offense up. It's Sharkey controlling in the middle, and he'll hand it off to Thomas McCunvey.
I think a little ball luck has been in play too, Matt, on these face-offs. Both squads are basically in there, all 3 of their guys battling for the ball, and it just seems like the ball ends up squirting out to a man in green for the Vermont squad.
Here's McCormack up top, left side. He'll drop it behind over to X with Klosterman. Curling his way to the right side, back up top. It's with Halley. Now back to X Limoges. Back left side here, working it around the horn this time. It's over to Hunter, working against Townsend. Gets body position on the low side, able to drop it now to Haley. Cutting into the middle here. Over to McCunvey. Dodges left side, cuts into the middle. Drop pass in front, behind the back shot that time by McCormack is saved by Fyock. Loose ball on the ground, it's recovered by Vermont. Pass out in front from his knees, a bounce shot saved by Fyock. Loose chance again, and converting that time is Thomas McCunvey. Oh my goodness, talk about some serious heart and effort by Thomas McCunvey. From his knees, let the shot go. Saved by Fyock, finds it on the rebound, buries it into the back of the net. It's 8-4 Vermont with 7:37 left in the second quarter.
I don't even know how to break that play down for you, Matt. That was just pandemonium right there. Fyock ends up basically out of the goal crease entirely, as Penn State defenders are standing there waiting to see where that ball ends up, and then it goes right into the stick of Thomas McCunvey, and he's able to get that one in. Fyock with a great save, which would have been a Sports Center top 10 play if that goal would have went in originally off the shot behind the back. But Penn State, they can't get possession on these faceoffs. Vermont has been fantastic, and they're putting on a clinic right now on the dot. It's 10-4 now in favor of the Catamounts.
Another face-off win that time for the Catamounts. They'll set up on the defensive end as Cornell rips a long shot there, trying to find the back of the net there as Fyock came out of the cage. Misses over the bar, but Vermont able to retain possession here as McCormack was back to X here, making sure they were able to keep possession here. And with 7:05 left to go in the second quarter, Vermont back on the offensive attack. Starting down the left alley, it's Lewandowski. He'll drop it behind the goal, Limoges. Spin dodge to the right side. Out into the alley, he'll drop it out to Pope up on top of the box here. Charlie Pope, a bigger body here, trying to work against the smaller Sam Sweeney here, trying to drive in. Coming along the right side, a flag will come out. That'll go against Sweeney. A pass out in front. Behind the back shot again that time by Jonathan McCunvey. That misses wide, and Vermont will go to the man up again. A hit to the head that time by Penn State.
Yeah, Sam Sweeney. It's probably going to be the same exact penalty as that original one for Penn State. Sweeney's probably going to get a minute here. It's basically a cross check to the head going down. And yeah, he's just getting way too high there on those checks with his stick. And referee standing right there, not going to miss that one. Looking at Pope, though, 6 foot, 240 pounds. That's a tough man to cover. Sweeney wanted to take on that task. Did a decent job staying in front of him, but just got too high with the stick.
Sweeney only 175 pounds, so that's a 65-pound advantage here as Vermont goes up to the one-man advantage here as it's a step-down chance here for McConvey. Lets a shot go. That misses high over the bar. And with 6:19 and 48 seconds left to shoot, Vermont back on the offensive end. Quick passing around the horn. Pass out in front. Klosterman on the doorstep. Save made that time by Fyock, and Penn State able to jump on the loose ball. And they'll complete the clear as that penalty is expiring on Sweeney. Vermont not able to convert on the man up. Penn State back to even strength as they'll set up the offense. Another great save that time by Fyock on that offense.
That was his best one of the game, Matt, especially with where we are in the game now. Vermont up 4. That would be 5 there if the Catamounts are able to come and get it there with just under 6 minutes remaining. But Penn State's goalie Fyock, huge one there to give his team an opportunity to stay in this. And then there's a unforced turnover.
Another errant pass that time. Sickler trying to find Peden, misses high, and with 5:30 left to go in the second quarter, just like that, Vermont back on the offensive end. Or offensive attack, excuse me. They're in the defensive end right now. And a long shot's going to be let go, and a save is going to be made that time by Brett Funk, not by Fyock, as Fyock was out to try and guard another defender. And here's Sickler now on the offensive end. A skip pass over to Trainer along the left alley. A flag comes out. It'll be against Vermont.
This is going to be an offsides call against Vermont. Penn State's going to be able to go to the advantage here, but they want to work it and see if they can get a goal beforehand.
Back up top, it's Costin here, and he'll send it over to Rayom in the right alley. Darting in, he gets past his defender. Now pass out in front, looking for Jack Kelly. A little high, misses over his stick, and it'll be controlled that time by Vermont. A stoppage of play coming up to assess the penalty, the offsides that you called out there, Evan. 4:48 left to go, a man up here for Penn State, and they've also struggled. They're only 1 for 7 on the season.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to get that man-up advantage going here for the Nittany Lions. The Catamounts have had 2 chances. They're 1 for 2. Penn State, they're looking to strike on that opening man-up opportunity just like Vermont was able to.
Looks like it'll be Liam Limoges taking the knee down here for Vermont. That's 3 penalties thus far in the game as a whole, all coming in this second quarter. 2 against Penn State. This is the first against Vermont, and we're underway again here as Kyle Aldridge skips it over behind the net here. It's Jeb Brenflick.
Hidden ball trick.
Back out to Trainer and step down from the left side. That misses wide. As you mentioned, a hidden ball trick there behind the net with Peden and Brenflick. Able to get Trainer an open look. He misses wide to the right. Now back up top, Aldridge. Back to Trainer left side. around the horn, trying to find a feed in front. Back out right side, goal line extended. Back to Peden, feed in front, jump pass there, and a goal that time scored by Jack Kelly. He came flying through the air, and he's able to just tap it down into the net. And Penn State able to capitalize on the man up, makes it 5-8. Vermont still.
They call that a quick stick, Matt. Going right behind the cage there, sweet feed right out in front to Jack Kelly. And as you mentioned, just barely needs to tap it home. He basically gets it, and it glides right out of his stick as he's already coming forward with that momentum. Look at that, so quick to release that one. Gets a shot in the back as well from a defender there in Colin Sharkey. Penn State able to cut it to 3.
Kelly, that's his 6th of the season, and the faceoff this time won by Burke. Ball is poked free, but it'll be a penalty against Penn State. That'll go against Sutton Boland that time. Looks like they'll call a trip or something. Took out the knees there of Burke.
Yeah, just got a huge whack right there. Boland coming in, trying to get it away from Burke. And that's kind of frustration mounting right now for Penn State on these faceoffs. They've been pretty unsuccessful, you could say, in this game. Vermont has been the quality better opponent in that aspect. But, you know, you got to be able to keep your head in the game there. Now another chance for Vermont.
This will be the 3rd man up for Vermont. Another minute penalty here against Boland. So now Vermont working it around the horn here, around the outside. Comes over to McCormack right side. Back up top, over to the left side now. It's Haley, skip pass over to McConvey. Lets a shot go, and a beautiful save that time made by Fayok. Penn State looking for the clear here. It's Funk. Feeds it up to Haas. He'll reset. Trying to find anyone. He gets it over to Peck. It skips off his stick. Here's still the ball is loose. And it'll be Vermont possession there. Still 23 seconds left on the man up. 3:34 left in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, that play right there, that clearing attempt, Matt, that's on Grant Haas. He has the ball on his stick, and he has room to run to the far side of the field with no one in front of him. Just the guy on his back hip, but he can beat him with his speed. He tries to fling it over his shoulder to a defender that already has a man on him, as that shot goes over the cage, going the other way on a crease violation here against Vermont. But if Haas just uses his speed to get over the midline, he'll be in great shape, but he tries to force it to the defender, and you never want to go from a short stick midfielder to a defender with possession of the ball.
A long pass up on that clear by Fayok. Out of reach for Aldridge, but it deflects off of the referee. It'll be a Penn State offensive possession for Fayok. That was another great save. Limoges tried to fake low, go high instead of just taking the quick shot, and now Penn State a chance to go on the offensive end. It's Costin working his way along the right alley. Drops it behind the goal. It's Peden. Left side, it's Aldridge. Spin dodge back into the middle. He's going to let a low shot go, and Cornell is also able to beat him low. Able to stop at 5-hole, and Cornell, another save there for him. That's his 4th thus far this afternoon. There's now Vermont on the offensive end. Stone Jacobs cutting it into the middle, lets a shot go. That whistles wide, and Vermont able to retain possession here with 2:13 left to go in the 1st half. 63 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, the clearing game's been way easier for Vermont trying to come down on the offensive end as compared to Penn State. Vermont's riding game, they've been pushing up kind of like that 10 or 20 man ride, but for Penn State, they're just leaving guys open on the other side of the field, attackmen or midfielders, whatever they might be. They need to get man up on everybody.
Here it's back to Pope up top here, working his way against Townsend, finds space in the middle. He'll retreat back out as it comes back to X here with Klosterman. Up top, McCormack dodges to the left here. He's going to let a bounce shot go. That bounces over the bar, but Vermont able to retain possession there. 26 seconds here on the shot clock. Klosterman gets play back underway, and it works its way over to the left side with Hunter. Spins left side, gets position, bounce shot in, he scores! Jonas Hunter able to get position on Robert McGee on that spin dodge, cuts into the middle, and bounces it past Alaric Fayok. It's 9-5 Vermont with 1:28 left to go in the 2nd quarter.
I thought that defense was pretty good there from McGee, able to force Hunter down the alley basically, but Hunter just battling himself into the middle of the field and basically gets a big shot in the back. Look at right here, just able to overpower McGee and get that little sidearm shot down low. Changing levels has been excellent in this game. Fayok, he's been pretty decent in goal, but Vermont's having a ton of opportunities right in front of the cage.
For Hunter, that's his first of the season, and he only had 5 last year, so now up to 1 here. So now the ball is still loose off that face-off, and this time it's controlled by Glatz. And Penn State will set up the offense here with 1:05 left to go. It's Trainer up across midfield.
This is kind of like a basketball situation, Matt. You can play for a last shot opportunity here with 10 more seconds being on that shot clock, so don't really have to worry about it. Just need to worry about that game clock. So Penn State, they want to get advantage here in the offensive zone, work it around the horn, and see if they can get a favorable matchup.
Over to the left alley, it's Trainer back up top, Rayon. 40 seconds left to go here, 47 on the shot clock. So just about a 10-second difference here between shot and game clock. As you mentioned, Evan, they can hold till the final shot, and Penn State just working along the outskirts of the field. Here it's Trainer cutting down left side. Back up top, it's Kelly. Over to the right side, Costin. Darts in, lets a low shot go. Save made that time by Cornell. Ground ball pickup by Alvidi. He's hounded this time, but he's able to spin away. Jeb Brenfleck working against him. Clear attempt is good, and with 4 seconds left to go, Vermont here, one final shot taken that time. That skips wide, and that'll do it for the first half. Vermont with a 9-5 lead over Penn State. It's been quite the game for Liam Limoges. He's got a hat trick. And while Alaric Fayok's got 12 saves, Penn State not able to find that clicking offensively, really, on that offensive end.
No, you're right there, Matt. Right at the end there, like we said, you're kind of saving up for the last shot opportunity. About a dozen seconds left on the game clock before half, coming down that far alley. The slide's coming. That Penn State Aldridge needs to find someone else on the far side. Where is that slide coming from? That's where your that's where that open man's going to come out in front of the goal with a one-on-one opportunity with Cornell, the goaltender for Vermont. Doesn't find anybody and doesn't change levels with his shot. He kind of just has his stick on his hip, just going for that regular sidearm opportunity, and that's easy for a goaltender. If you're not going to change levels and it's a sidearm shot right there with no level change, Cornell's going to make that save all day. So Penn State down by 4. They need to figure it out.
They do need to figure it out, in fact, here. Vermont up 9-5 here, heading into the half. We'll step aside for a break. That'll do it for my half of play-by-play. I'll hand it over to Evan Papalis for the second half. But Vermont up 9-5 here on Big Ten Plus and Com Radio.
Both teams are out of the locker rooms here at Panzer Stadium. It's 9-5 in favor of the visiting Vermont Catamounts over the Penn State Nittany Lions. Back here on BTN Plus, simulcast with Com Radio. I'm Evan Papalis, joined by Matt Scalzo. Matt, Vermont really came out of the gates kicking, and they just continued to play their style of game, winning the face-off and playing a possession game in the offensive end. What do they need to do the rest of the way if they want to be victorious here on the road?
Well, it's really hard to kind of just single in on one thing, but you kind of hit the nail on the head there. They kind of keep doing what they've been doing. Winning at the face-off dot's been great for them. They won seven of the 8 draws in that second quarter. That starts with Tommy Burke. He's been phenomenal thus far this afternoon. And, you know, picking up those ground balls, especially at that face-off dot, been very big. And I think you guys just continue what you're doing offensively. It's really working behind from X. That's how they got their first couple of goals, curling in from behind on that bounce shot, beating Fiok. That's kind of the key for them, is working that way through the offense behind the net.
Penn State's kryptonite in this game has really been turning the ball over, and they haven't had a lot of people in their faces when they've done so in this game. How do they maybe eliminate those turnovers and figure out a way to play a more on-brand style the rest of the way?
Yeah, you touched on the passing hasn't been crisp, really, and that's what's been hurting them the most. If they're able to pick up on those errors, and you see another one there as Glatz a little early on that face-off. If they're able to clean up on that passing, it's kind of just trusting one another. A lot of young guys on this team, but you're able to find that kind of chemistry, really go a long way. And you got to kind of just take this one possession at a time, get a stop here, and maybe get a goal on the other end.
As Matt alluded to, Glatz early on that face-off violation as Vermont's going to take over to start things off here. Going from right to left is Vermont. In this half, Penn State going from left to right. For this quarter, I should say, as Vermont has it on the far side. A dodge down the alley coming here from Thomas McConvey. McConvey going back to X, looking for Limoges. He's got him. Nice dodge right there. A little bit of a spin looking, and it's blocked right out in front there by Penn State. That was Kevin Parnham. Able to keep possession of that are the Catamounts. Here in the near side alley in the left end. Looking for somewhere to go right now is Fennick. Feeds it down low one more time. Rolling over to the top of the cage. Shoots and scores! David Klosterman rips one home, and it's another goal coming from below GLE at that X position as Klosterman finds another one in this contest. Vermont up 10-5.
Yeah, Klosterman now, he's got a hat trick here, and as I mentioned, you know, working in from behind X, that's exactly what they did. Go behind X. Fennick sets that screen, able to give Klosterman a little bit of space, finds that back corner on the far side, and just beats Fiok cleanly.
That goal comes 42 seconds in, and they're going to win it right off the faceoff. Coming down here, looking for a quick shot from Limoges. Shoots, he scores! Liam Limoges rips one top cheese over the shoulder of Fiok, and Vermont makes it 11-5 now. 49 seconds in to quarter number 3.
I mean, make it, take it's the name of the game right now here for Vermont. They've been doing it. They've been taking it, and now they're making it here. Just a quick goal right there that time by Limoges. Just 7 seconds after the goal from Klosterman here. And look, I mean, whatever was said in that locker room by Vermont, it's working. Right now, they're just looking to keep it going here.
Clean face-off here, shot between the legs by Burke. That's going to be scooped up there by Nick Alviti. He's going to rush it down here, the long stick midfielder does. On that far side alley, he gets it in the restraining box behind the cage to Limoges. Limoges fresh off that goal. Gonna go behind X. He's looking for somewhere to dish it off to. He will on the far side to Pope. Pope gets it in his right hand, looking to dance away from that referee from a second here. And the near alley, he gets out atop of the restraining box over the Penn State logo now. Coming down, that is Pope. And now over to this near side is Brock Haley. Haley going to that far side, looking for a dodge, trying to get over the top. A little bit of a check to the head there by Grant Haas. That was against Thomas McKenvey. That ball is ripped behind cage. Vermont able to stay with it. Limoges sticking his right hand. He's got a pick set. He's looking for somewhere to go. He's going to pass it over to his teammate there in Klosterman. It's been Klosterman and Limoges, the 2 goal scorers early on. They're working together in a 2-man tandem. Back to the top here for Pope. He's looking for somewhere to bull rush to. And that one shot blocked away there. Catamounts trying to go to work again. This is kind of what they did at the beginning of the game, Matt. Get that possession and really just wear down this Penn State defense. Looking for a dodge down the alley is Haley. He's going to go for that low underhand shot, and it's ripped wide of the cage. Players diving, laying out for it on the far side. But Vermont's going to come up with a 12:49 to go here in the third quarter, 11-5 in favor of Vermont.
Yeah, and you touched on it. They've been controlling possession here. Obviously, they got those first 2 quick goals, but right here, this offensive possession, nice crisp passing, able to complete possession, winning those races to those balls on the sideline.
Haley has it. He's looking for somewhere to dance. He's going to go up top. Oh, glazes it off the crossbar. He gets pushed from behind, and it's going to be Penn State possession here as he fell into the crease at Haley.
Yeah, and he got that position. Looks like he was going top side, goes bottom, able to get that inside position that time on Haas. Just not able to convert that time, just glazing it, or grazing it off the crossbar, as you mentioned.
46 shot opportunity of the game from Vermont. And now trying to cross over that midfield stripe is Penn State and still chasing it all the way down. Here's a good opportunity for Dan Riome. Riome gives it down, and now it's going to go back behind the cage, not to necessarily that X position. Jack Trainer leads this Nittany Lion squad in goals, has it in his right hand, basically all the way against the end line. Looking for a dodge maneuver right here. He's going to try and rush behind X on that far side. Good defense there for the time being. That is from Will Jones. Jones still staying there on Trainer. Trainer battling hard, trying to get top side. He can't. Back to the point. Now over to this near side. That's Aldridge. Aldridge looking with his right hand. He's going to try and dump it off, but it's fisted away nicely there by Vermont, trying to keep it in bounds, and unable to there was Jackson Canfield. 25 seconds on the shot clock. It's ticking down as Penn State has again with Aldridge. Aldridge gives it down low to Riome. He's looking for somewhere to dance with it. Riome has a short stick midi against him. He'll pass it up top. Looking for a dodge now from that top side. Costin looking for somewhere to go. He'll go back below the cage. 5 on the shot clock, ticking down. Back to the point. Shot saved there by Cornell. Rebound attempt goes in. A beautiful left hand jumping, quick stick, bounce shot over Cornell. Penn State with their first goal of the second half, and that'll cut the deficit to 5. Now it's 11-6 Vermont with 11:11 to go in Q3.
That's Jeb Brenflick that time, elevating above the rest that time on the rebound, able to beat Cornell on that jump, getting his stick higher. You mentioned the quick stick there, able to bounce it in. Great job by Brenflick. That's the extra effort you're going to need from him. It's his second of the season. Able to cut the lead to 5.
Vermont trying to get possession and get off the face-off. This one's taken away nicely. A battle of threes. Tommy Burke, but coming away was Sam Sweeney, who now has a long stick in his hand. He was playing a little short stick midfield earlier. He got a penalty. A little cross check up high against Pope that earned him 30 seconds in that penalty box. Penn State with possession for it right now. They've kind of got the yellow offense going. Now they're going to rush down on that far side out, looking for a little cross seam pass. A little sloppy from Penn State, looking to gain some true possession here. Now back behind the goal is Peden. Peden trying to make a two-man tandem work. He's got it in his left hand. He'll spin and go with his right, trying to get up top. He does a nice job of it, going for a skip pass here on this near side. And that one is fended away. Penn State is going to get the ball back here. Trainer was the closest one to it. Fresh shot clock here with 60 seconds on it. He'll take it. His Trainer, Canfield, covering him. Back up top, looking for a shot opportunity. Shot, scores! Able to get it to go right there was Jake Morin. And Penn State now has a little bit of a groove of their own. They're down 4, 11-7, 10-16 to go, third quarter.
Yeah, and Morin, he took that initial shot that time that was saved by Cornell, got the shot clock reset, and then again, finding him a little bit of space there in the middle of the field, finds it, buries it. That's exactly what you need right now from Penn State, trying to get a little bit of momentum going here. And only down by 4.
First goal of the season for Morin, a sophomore from Garnet Valley, Pennsylvania. And a face-off violation here, as Vermont's going to get an opportunity to take it off the draw. That's huge for them. They need a possession, as Penn State's got the last 2 tallies on the board.
Yeah, and it was a face-off change there for Penn State. Glatz didn't really get a whole lot going, but they went with Hudson Bond, and that time another violation. J.J.
Lewandowski takes it down the far side alley. He'll just pass it below. Now back to the top. Chasing it down is Jonathan McConvey. McConvey back behind the cage, trying to make a little bit of magic happen here. Tossing it back up was Glosserman. Limoges, top side again. Lewandowski on that far side, trying to split over the Rideau line, splitting that field in half. Now we'll come over to the near side alley. Hunter has a man on him in Sweeney. Sweeney, lots of checking, but this one, a shot is coming across to the other side on that far side, looking for that lefty bounce shot. It goes wide right of Fyock's cage. Vermont able to keep possession of it. Limoges gets the whistle. There's 24 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 9:19 here in the third quarter. Vermont up by 4. Limoges left, now right, now spins. He's looking for somewhere. 15 to go on the shot clock. That's Colossus. That near side, a little bit inside of the restraining box, trying to find somewhere to go. Over to the far side. Hunter shoots, rips one. That goes off a Penn State defender. Fyock's going to be able to erase this one out, and Penn State finally able to get one that's off a shot opportunity when it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, great defensive possession that time by Penn State. It looked like Vermont was going to have another great opportunity. Hunter got a little bit of space, went behind X, got a nice screen, but good job that time by Penn State, sticking with it, forcing the shot clock violation. A great block in front that time by Parnham.
Brian Townsend runs that one all the way down and gets the clear himself. Now Penn State with possession of it. Brenfleck chasing himself around behind the cage. Now back up top, it's Aldridge. Gives it to a man coming onto the field, that's Matt Costin. Costin sprinting down, one-handed cradle with his left hand, gives it back to Trainer behind the cage. At X, bobbing and weaving, trying to make the defender miss, and Will Jones gets top side, now still battling, looks for one more pass. Aldridge, Riome, shot, scores! Dan Riome rips one into that top left corner with ease. And Penn State has the game within 3 now, 11-8 Vermont, 8:10 to go here in quarter number 3.
That's just another example of making that extra pass. Quick pass over to Aldridge. He stepped down, looked like he's going to let it rip. Saw the defender slide in on him, saw Riome open on the near side. Riome takes another step, buries it near side top corner. For Riome, that's his 7th of the season. Great job that time by Penn State. You see that extra pass. You see Riome step into it and just beat Cornell on that near side. Great shot.
A couple of quality shot opportunities from the Nittany Lions here in the first half of this third quarter. Quarter's about to be 7 minutes deep as we're approaching 8 minutes remaining in it. 11-8 in favor of the Catamounts. Penn State gets possession here. Grant Haw, short stick defensive mid, he gets possession. Dumps it in to the restraining box area for Will Peden. Peden giving it up top. Coming in now is Mark Sickler. Second line mid, he's coming out. Going back to that far side in front of the players' bench of Penn State. As we're chasing it down there, that was the Jake Morin who scored just a couple of minutes ago. Peden looked for somewhere to go, rips one, he got checked from behind. That's all clean there as it was all stick. Penn State with that shot still gets it back with 53 to go on that shot clock. Jack Trainer with it. Way deep here in the alley, looking for somewhere to go. He's going against Jones. With the left, trying to get top side. Now he'll cut down low. He's going to try and battle to the cage, right to Cornell's left. We'll have to go up top with it. Nice dodge right there, a split dodge from Sickler, looking for somewhere to go, and it's knocked away on that shot opportunity. Still 34 seconds to go here for Penn State on the shot clock. They're down by 3 goals, 7:13 remaining third quarter. Trainer up top, Sickler. Now to the far side, crossing into that restraining box there is Morin. Gets it down low. Peden with the stick in his left hand, looking for that backside pass, and it's knocked away there. Great job cutting to the goal, and the goalie is way out of the net in Cornell right now. Penn State with an opportunity, and it is forced out of bounds by Vermont, and it's going to go Vermont's way. That was an excellent opportunity there. Peden was looking for a backside feed to Jack Kelly. Could not come to fruition, and now the pass over from Cornell. That ball got lost in the sun. Penn State's going to get it right back. Cornell was looking there for Jackson Canfield and one of his defenders on the far side in front of the Penn State box. That sun starting to play some games. Penn State gets a possession back, still down 3, 6:28 to go.
Yeah, that sun's going to play a factor as this game moves along. You can see it starting to creep in on this Penn State end more than the other on the Vermont's offensive end here, but you're starting to see those shadows be created going right into that Penn State bench. It'll be tough on making passes that way.
Riome looking for someone to go. He rips one just a couple of inches over the crossbar. Now more turnovers by Vermont in this game. 8-7 now is Penn State. They were leading in that category heavily early on in this contest. Vermont's been a little sloppy with the ball as of late. Up top for Aldridge. Looking to goes somewhere with the stick in his right hand. Now he gets a clear opportunity right to the lane, and this one's passed from behind the net, trying to get it out in front by Cornell, active with the goalie stick. He knocks it down, and here comes a clearing opportunity for Vermont. 11-8, Catamounts lead just under 6 minutes here in quarter number 3.
That was a great job that time by Cornell, reading the eyes of Aldridge and able to just beat his stick up high, force the turnover, and now back to even on the turnovers.
Cornell feeds it over. He gets it to Jack Fitch. A diving attempt there by Riom. So they're able to get it over the midfield line, which is a huge plus. Now Vermont with it. Limoges looking for an inside feed. He gets it nicely, but good defense there by Penn State and Brett Funk. That one's going to roll out of bounds. Penn State is going to get possession. Now feeds it into Fyock. He does a quick pass over the middle. That gets away there from Sweeney, but able to be scooped up. No, not just yet. Still in that restraining box area in the Penn State defensive end. Now able to get over the line. Sweeney bobbles it again, unable to stay with it. Now he's got possession of a quick pass over to Haas, and Penn State gets it over midfield successfully. And now they get to go to work on the offensive end of things. Brent Flick, he's on right now for the Nittany Lions. Penn State going left to right in quarter number 3, Vermont right to left. Up top, looking for a dodge opportunity, it's Morin. Gets a nice pick there from Haas, who's going to come off after that. Now rolling behind the cage, looking for somewhere to go is Peden. A little bit of a face dodge, back up top. Here comes a shot from far out, he scores! Mark Sickler steps onto the field, gets it all the way at the top of the restraining box, and rips it with the left hand right past Cornell. Penn State has cut the deficit to 2. It's 11-9 Vermont with 4:29 remaining here in quarter number 3. Penn State's on a 4-0 run.
Yeah, you touched on Haas. He raced off, let Sickler come on fresh off the bench, got the pass, step down, rocket, able to beat Cornell down that far side. And Penn State right now, they got all the juices flowing in their favor here. Just down by 2, it was down by 6. You mentioned the 4-0 run now.
This is going to be a face-off. This is going to be their 3rd violation of the half already. So Penn State, they're going to get a penalty on this one. So stepping into the box there is Hudson Bond. Vermont's going to get an opportunity here on the man up. And they could use it, Matt.
They really could. Right now, Penn State, they got the momentum, as I've touched on in here. They've been able to control possession, has been Vermont on that face-off here, but their Bond, another error. The redshirt freshman just trying to come in, create a little spark for Glatz, but 3 errors by him, and now Vermont looking for a goal. Really would suck the life out of this Penn State side.
Vermont spinning it around up top right now, looking for somewhere to go. Limoges on the near side wing. Now back up top, working it with Thomas McConvey. He's the man right at the point. Now rolling up over the top is Brock Haley. This one gets away. Fyock's going to race it down. There was not a shot. At least, even if it was, Penn State won the race there. Nittany Lions back in possession here as the penalty has expired.
Yeah, we touched on Penn State not being as crisp in the first half, and there's a turnover in the second half, but Vermont getting a golden chance there off that failed clear. Parnham was trying to go for the long skip pass up ahead, but able to be intercepted that time by Jonathan McConvey.
That's a poor turnover right there by Parnham. Now Catamounts going to get the personnel that they want on the field. They'll touch it up in the restraining box. It's going to be a timeout called by Vermont. With 3:35 to go here in the 3rd quarter, Penn State is on a 4-0 run as they've knocked it down to just a 2-goal deficit. You're listening in on Big Ten Network Plus NCOM Radio simulcast. We'll be right back.
A little bit of schedule update here for the Nittany Lions upcoming. They'll head on the road this weekend. They'll head down to Philadelphia. They'll take on St. Joe's, and then next weekend they'll return home. They'll take on Yale, another great team there. They'll begin that 3-game stretch of Ivy League teams. The following weekend they'll face Penn in Charlotte. before coming home, taking on Cornell, and then 3 days later, going on the road, just down the road, to take on Bucknell. So those are the next 5 games upcoming for the Nittany Lions.
Should be interesting to see how those games play out, Matt, but right now, Vermont, fresh off a timeout. They thought it was the most necessary thing as of now. Penn State's on a 4-0 run, 11-9. Catamounts still lead this contest. They're going behind the cage again. They've been so successful back there in this game. It's Limoges. He's getting some separation for the time being. Feeds it up to Haley in the alley, the near side, looking for a dodge down low. He beats Haas. He has a chance to go to goal. He doesn't. He scores. Face dodge around Grant Haas, and Haley is able to outrun his defender to cage, and Fyock with no chance, no slide comes. It is his second goal of the game. It's 12-9 now, Vermont, with 3:15 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's a great job by Haley, as you mentioned. Able to get that inside position on Haas, able to dart in. Just, a one-on-one opportunity with Fyock, and 9 times out of 10, you mentioned it, they convert on those opportunities, and Haley able to do just that.
Deja vu on the face-off. Catamounts win it. They're going to play it back to their defensive end and see what kind of success they can have on a clear. Goaltender right now, Cornell feeds it over to this near side right in front of Matt and myself to Tim Manning. Manning looking for somewhere to go. Dominant with that left hand. He's going to let this thing soar towards cage right out in front. Fyock able to get back just in time. It goes out of bounds. They'll say it was a shot to the referees, and Vermont is able to keep up with the time. 12-9 Vermont, 2:49 to go. They have 57 seconds on this shot clock. They inbound it behind the Penn State goal. Limoges up top. Griffin Fennick with it. He still has it. He goes to the left hand. He's looking for somewhere to go. Nice slide there by the Penn State defense. Looking for a step-down shot opportunity there was McCormack. He has nowhere to go with it. He's being bullied by Penn State. Back behind the goal, looking for somewhere is Klosterman. Klosterman fed it over to his partner, and that is going to result in a penalty. That was Charlie Pope that just got a face full of stick, and that is going to be against Bruno.
Yeah, and Bruno there, he had that great job on the ride, forcing Pope to the ground, and then that time, just a little too uncharacteristic and just not something, just an unforced error really. You could go for the ball instead, a little high, just rides it right up into his face that time as Pope was able to retain possession. You could see it on the replay there, but Vermont now back up on the man up here. It'll be a minute penalty that time on Bruno.
Bruno's going to take a knee in the box area. Vermont, as Matt mentioned, back on the man up, as they're going to spin it around clockwise right now, trying to see what they have to work with on this opportunity. Still feeding it, just sending it around in that clockwise momentum, and now Limoges is going to bring it back the opposite way. Gives it over to Haley, now back up top to McConvey. That's Thomas. He receives a pass back one more time. Haley again on that wing. Shot right in the middle. Scores! Jonathan McConvey receives the pass right into the left-hand side of the stick and lets one rip sidearm style right past Fyock. No opportunity there for the netminder for Penn State. It's 13-9 now, Vermont. They've gotten the last 2.
Yeah, that was great passing that time by Vermont. They were just working it right around the horn, right along the perimeter, waiting for that opening to come for McConvey in the middle. He's that bigger body. He's able to find him with a little bit of space, and he's able to just rip it up high under the bar, right past Fyock.
The Penn State defense, they've been out of sorts in this game, whether it's on when they're man down or just regular 6-on-6 action. Another face-off one here for the time being by Vermont, but it slips out of the stick there of Burke, and Penn State able to gain possession. A little bit of a gift there. Brian Townsend feeds it in for the Nittany Lions. Jack Trainer waiting in front of his team's bench, and now will feed it back up top for Dan Riome. Riome waiting for more reinforcements. That's Kyle Aldridge. Aldridge rushing in with the stick in his left hand. Now back up top to Trainer, leading the team in goals. This one glances off the stick there for a second, trying to chase it down as Costin. He slips and goes down and unable to keep that ball in play. Vermont gets another opportunity with the ball here, a clearing opportunity on another Penn State turnover.
Yeah, now those turnovers we saw in the first half starting to peek in again here, costing Penn State another possession that you can't have. Vermont's already got the last 2 goals here. They got momentum swinging on their sides, and another error that time by Penn State, really just sucking the life out of this team that after that 4-0 run seemed like they were going to crawl back into this one, maybe tie it up heading into the fourth quarter. But here, chance here, just about a second difference between shot and game clock here for Vermont. Chance to hold it till that last second, maybe make it a 5-goal advantage heading into the final quarter.
Both teams have turned the ball over 11 times in this contest. Vermont, like Matt just mentioned, has the opportunity to hold for last shot. And they seem content on doing that, as Grant Haas is giving a strong ride right now on Jonas Hunter. Hunter just one hand cradling in his right, away from Haas, just gallivanting across the field. Now he'll basically come to a walking standstill. 23 seconds left, 13-9 Vermont, as there's 2-second difference between shot and game clock. Shot comes first. Looking for somewhere to go with it is Hunter. He's got it in his left behind the cage. Now he's trying to roll up on that left side, that far side. Still looking. Now we'll feed it back up top. Looking for a shot there was McConvey and Thomas. He's looking, he shoots, and he rings it off the post. And that is going to expire this third quarter. An opportunity to go up by 5 goals again for Vermont goes by the wayside, as that shot there, lefty style from Thomas McConvey, rips off that post on the far side. And Fayok is able to continue to breathe nicely, as he's been really good in this game, Matt. But we'll take this 13-9 game to the fourth quarter. We'll be right back. You're tuned in on BTN Plus, simulcast Com Radio. Team switch sides, and we'll do the fourth quarter here. 15 minutes remaining in regulation. 13-9 in favor of the Vermont Catamounts over the Penn State Nittany Lions. Evan Palis and Matt Scalzo bringing you all the action today on Big Ten Plus and simulcast on Com Radio. Matt, both teams getting ready to get down here in the face-off X. What are you expecting to see the rest of the way here in these final 15 minutes?
Well, I'm expecting Penn State to come out really hot here, heavy on the ride here, trying to force turnovers here, and you can see it right now on this first face-off here. All the sticks flying, and they're finally able to control possession that time with Sutton Boland, but he's going to throw it away, and it'll be a turnover that time by Penn State. Sorry, I'm taking play-by-play there for you for a minute.
You're fine.
But, you know, I expected them to be heavy on the ride here to start this fourth quarter. They're down by 4. They got to be forcing turnovers left, right, and center, and if you're Vermont, you just got to make sure, limit those errors and take it one possession at a time here, and really just value your possessions here, and you're going to work that clock as much as possible, really.
They didn't value winning that opening draw, did Penn State, after both teams going back and forth. But Vermont able to come away with it with that 4-goal lead as we're getting the fourth quarter underway just now. Coming in quickly now are the Catamounts, as Fennick as he crosses over Rido, now going back up top center. Now they're going to spin it around the cage. Counterclockwise are the Catamounts, and Limoges almost runs in to a man wearing stripes, known as the referee. Less than 40 seconds to go here on the shot clock. Trying to roll over GLE. Now we'll give it back. Here comes a shot, just missing over the top of the cage. Might have missed a little bit wide as well, was Thomas McConvey. Last shot opportunity we saw from him was to end that third quarter on the opposite end of the field, and he ended up dinging it off that orange iron. Now taking it from behind the cage is Vermont one more time. Quick shot right into the stick there of Fayok. It shoots out for a second. Vermont going to get it right back. A little bit of rebound control issue right now for Fayok. A fresh 60 seconds on the clock. It's ticked down to 51 at this point in time. Still 4-goal advantage for Vermont. Haley right in the middle. Shot opportunity just goes wide of the cage, and now Fayok is barking at his defenders, telling guys that they need to mark up on a man. That's Thomas McConvey again.
Yeah, McConvey, he's had great chances the last 3 opportunities. You mentioned that iron hit towards the end of that third quarter there, right on the doorstep, open space, just missed it.
Grant Haas playing a little defense right now. Looking for that roll is Vermont in Fennick. He feeds it back up top. McConvey goes to that far side. A ton of beating and banging against each other there. That was McCormack, and he was going against Parnham. On the near side in that alley, running over a pick right there was Penn State. This one goes off the iron again, and it's going to shoot out of bounds. Vermont's going to get it right back. A fresh 60 will be placed back on the clock with 13 minutes exactly remaining.
Thomas McConvey is just looking for a goal right now. Great shots by him. A little unlucky with that orange rectangle around the goal that time, and just not able to convert, but it seems like right now a goal is coming for the Catamounts.
Jonas Hunter playing with some speed. He gives it over to Thomas McConvey, who feeds it back below the cage. And now taking it out is Limoges. Penn State trying to figure out who they want to mark up defensively on. Limoges going all the way back up top. Charging in here is Charlie Pope. Pope with it. He's going to look for a pass right back. And this one is another one off the iron. That's 3 in the last 2.5 minutes of this contest. Penn State's going to come up with it. Fayok's best friend bails him out for a 3rd straight time. Now this ball gets away from Penn State. Limoges here on the forecheck. He'll get that ball. Scoops it up one-handed. Now he's still cradling it one-handed. And now a flag is going to come out. Penn State is going to go down a man again. It's Parnham. He's whacking away. And now this ball's rolled back up top. Play still continuing at this point in time. Vermont can do whatever they want. They just can't let Penn State touch up.
Yeah.
Oops, go ahead, Matt.
Jeff Tambroni just beside himself right now on the sideline there. Got the lucky bounce off the iron again. Parnham not able to complete the clear, losing that ball. Maybe a little bit of the sun as it's setting, but another error by Penn State that you can't be having.
45 seconds to go on the shot clock right now. Vermont can use as much of it as they want. They'll take a quick shot, and it goes just wide on a sidearm opportunity there from Jonas Hunter. Rolling over that GLE opportunity again, getting above his defender, but just missing past the cage.
Yeah, now they're going to go to the man up here. It's exactly what you wanted here. You want to hold clock and control possession for as long as you can, and you've worked 3.5 minutes off the clock already, and Fayok's doing everything he can right now to keep them in this game, and along with the help of those posts and crossbar with them. But Vermont right now, another chance here, man up, 60 seconds on the shot clock. It's a minute man up opportunity, so they can use all of it they want really right now.
Fayok's got a season high in saves in 14, and that number's only going to climb the rest of the way. Vermont, they've been pretty decent so far on that man up. They're going to quick shot here, and it's going to go in. Underhand opportunity there by Limoges. He finds Twine again, beating Fayok low, and Vermont goes up a handful, 14-9 with 11:12 remaining.
And you've seen it every time on that man up here by Vermont. That's that feedback to X, work your way one way, throw it back door, find it on that low shot, and another example of it right there, that time by Limoges. We saw it with Klosterman a couple times. You'll see it on the replay here. Finding Limoges that time was Klosterman. Limoges was able to beat Fayok cleanly right underneath it. Not really much Fayok could do in that opportunity.
That's Limoges' 8th goal of the season. That's 5 in this game. He's got a handful himself. Vermont wins another faceoff, and they can take time again to get offensive personnel on the field. Penn State, it's almost to that time where they're going to have to start reeling a little bit. They're down 5, just under 11 minutes remaining. Faceoffs now looking 19-8 in favor of the Catamounts. Men in green with it. Beautiful dodge right there. Nowhere to go with it as the slide came. He looks for a skip pass on that play. And now McConvey has it. He gives it down to Klosterman. And now a little pitch and catch going on between Klosterman and Limoges. Limoges ends up with it in the end. He's going back up top to Hunter. Hunter battling against a Penn State short stick midi. This one's ripped off the iron again. Fresh 60 going to come back on the shot clock. Vermont's able to beat it out. Time becoming of the essence a little bit right now, Matt. And Vermont, they've been able to outrun these shots all afternoon.
Yeah, they've been on the end of all these missed shots, really. Making sure you got a guy behind X, And then on these crossbar hits by McCormack, I think that's the second time trying to go upper 90, just missing and hitting that, really that combination of both post and crossbar again.
Now Vermont has it once more. Hunter gives it back, a nice steal right here. That's a cause turnover by Penn State. Able to run with it is Brian Townsend. Short stick, defensive midi, gets it over. They have numbers if they can hurry, does Penn State. He's rushing right down low, looking for Trainer. He's going to dodge inside, but has nowhere to go with it in the end. He'll slow it up. Penn State in dire need of a goal on this possession, as they're going to substitute the men that they need for the offensive attack. Riom with it, stick in his left hand. He'll give it over to his midfield partner in Kyle Aldridge. Now we're that far side. Good run down the alley there by Costin. He has nowhere to go with it. He'll pitch it back to X to Peden. Peden making a nice move, able to get up the top side, searching for somewhere to go. 40 seconds left on the play clock, still looking. He'll go back behind the cage one more time. Now, same dodge, same side, Costin. Still with the stick in his left hand, he'll go back up top to Jeb Brenfleck. Brenfleck over to the near side now, looking for a dodge down the alley. No, he'll go over the top, and that's Aldridge. Aldridge searching, looking for somewhere to go. He goes for an underhand feed. He ends up right back with it as the ball bounced up off the turf. Dan Riom has to do a skip pass here. Trainer coming in. Man wears double threes on his back, looking for somewhere to go. Stays on his feet. 5 seconds on the shot clock. It's counting down over to the far side, and Aldridge could not hold on to it. This is going to be a shot clock violation in the end, and there comes the call. And Vermont's going to take over. That's 80 seconds off the clock for Penn State, and they don't even get a shot on goal.
Yeah, it was a great defensive possession by Vermont. It looked like Penn State was going to have that. They had that odd man rush to begin. Great slide by the Vermont defense, able to force Trainer to reset it. Nothing inside. You know, you saw Trainer try and get underneath on his defender, but great job that time by, it was Will Jones on him that time, able to keep that stick on him, force him out, and, you know, as you mentioned, Penn State not able to get a shot away here, still down by 5.
Still 5-goal advantage for Vermont. 14-9 the score with just a smidge over 8 minutes remaining here at Panzer Stadium. Penn State trying to avoid falling to 1-2. Vermont is looking for their first win of this 2022 spring campaign. Now, heads bunching together. They'll let play continue. This is a bounce shot that just misses on that far side from Lewandowski. He basically put his head down, able to create some space with that move, but it bounced it too far. Now right off the whistle, this one is shot high over the cage. That came from a left-handed shot, Michael McCormack. 7:45 to go, as there's 20 seconds and now under on that shot clock. Pick set right there by Fennick. Limoges goes back to Fennick. Fennick looking to dance around here with Grant Haas. Goes to his left side. Now he's going to try and roll over GLE. He does. He flips one backside. Not going to reset the shot clock. They're able to get possession back for the time being. There's only 5 seconds remaining, however. It's got to be a quick one. Trying to get the personnel they want. Vermont looks like they're just going to go for a change, and they're going to end up just taking this shot clock violation. They'll drop it. Actually, it ends up being Penn State ball. Fyock ends up with it. Townsend. He's going to run another one over the line. That's the third one to my recollection in this game that he's just hustled it over the line himself. 7:14 to go. Penn State still searching to get within close margin in this game. And Jeff Tambroni's going to take a timeout. With 7:12 remaining in this game, 14-9 to score in favor of Vermont. Time is dwindling for the Nittany Lions. You're tuned into Big Ten Plus, simulcast with Com Radio. We'll be right back. Penn State coming off a timeout here with 7:12 remaining. They're down by 5 goals in the game. Still time in the game of lacrosse, but they need something on this possession. It feels like Evan Papalis and Matt Scalzo with you. Mark Sickler will start with the ball in his stick in his left hand and dishes a pass, and he'll get it right back. 60 seconds on the clock here, play clock, I should say, shot clock. And Nittany Lions still searching for somewhere to go. Switching sides, a lot of movement right here by Penn State on this possession so far. Peden looking for somewhere to dance with it. A man is just trucked right out in front there. That's Morin. Now to that far side, looking for somewhere to go. Penn State really just moving the ball around and just trying to get their bodies all over the place to confuse Vermont. This one shot right off the stick handle, it looked like there, of Cornell. Penn State still with an opportunity. Huge fill right there by a defender of Vermont. That's number 30, Tim Manning. And that ball goes away. Vermont's going to have an opportunity here to clear. That was a lot going on right there, Matt.
Yeah, and it was a great job by Vermont. Penn State was working really hard to try and get inside position. They weren't able to do so. And, you know, just another really tough possession there. They got it inside to Kelly, and that like 4 green shirts just swarmed around him. There was nothing really that Penn State was really able to do there. And now Vermont back on the offensive end, just working it down. Time really not in Penn State's favor. Just 6 minutes left to go in this one.
Vermont can start to exhaust that shot clock more and more now as they have that 5-goal cushion, under 6 minutes remaining here at Panzer Stadium. Searching for their first win of the season. They've lost to Duke, and Utah have the Catamounts racing out a shot here. And Catamounts able to keep possession of it. That came out of the stick of Charlie Pope. Penn State hasn't scored since 4:29 remaining in the third quarter. As Vermont just content with it behind cage. Hunter looking for a dodge. He's going against a short stick midfielder there in Townsend. Shot right out in front, scores! Vermont able to put another one home right there. It's Thomas McConvey. He's been a little snake bitten in this game, but able to get one there. A 4-0 run now for Vermont, 15-9 with exactly 5:30 remaining on the clock.
And McConvey, he was eyeing up a goal towards that end of the third quarter, start of the fourth, hit iron a few times, and that time, feet out in front, overhand shot. Nice job that time by McConvey and the Catamounts.
Quick draw here. It's another 1-1 by Vermont. Tommy Burke with it. He's been excellent all season, and again today, one of the best in all of the American East Conference. And now Vermont has another fresh shot clock, and they can let this time start to dwindle. Penn State, they're going to have to get ultra aggressive here.
Yeah, they really are. This ride's going to have to get really heavy here for Penn State if they want to try and force a turnover, and you can see it here, getting really close on Limoges here at X.
Limoges with it, taking a ton of slashes right now from Parnham. Back up top to Thomas McConvey. Over to Griffin Fennick. Near side looking for a dodge. He gets around Grant Haas. Probably not going to take any intention towards the goal right now. Now back over the top. Here comes one towards goal. It's a bouncing shot, just missing on the near side. Fayok is able to keep that one clear. That one came out of the stick of McCormack. He's a really strong jumping shot. Moving towards the middle of the field. Here comes a shot. This one's right into the stick of Fayok. He'll take that one. Looking for a quick breakout here are the Nittany Lions. Shoved down in the middle of the field goes a player, but to no avail will be a penalty call. Penn State gets a nice clear right there, running it down there with Sutton Bolin. Trainer with it. 4:17 to go. 15-9 in favor of Vermont. Trainer's looking for someone to come over the midfield line, and finally is Dan Riome with it. Ball in his stick, in his left hand. Chasing down just inside the alleyway. He'll go behind the cage to Will Peden. Peden with 45 on the shot clock, looking to roll the cage left side. He gets over the top. He's going to go for that peel back question mark dodge, and he rips it behind the cage. Wide, 3:53, 15-9. Inbound here by the Nittany Lions. Looking to set up a little pick game here. Jack Trainer with it, rolling with his left hand. Same thing as Peden just did. Still searching for somewhere with that question mark. A little bit of a hold coming there. No call coming from the referee. Will Jones was the man covering. This ball gets away. Penn State defense might have to be active there at the midfield stripe, but able to keep it on that side of the field, Jack Kelly. 14 to go on the shot clock. Kelly gets a big check against them right there. That came from Patrick Murphy. Now behind the cage rolling with an opportunity. Back up top. Needs to shoot quick with 5 on the clock. This one rips right into a defender there as Alvidi steps right in front of that one. And Vermont gets it back again. They'll roll back towards the cage and look for a clear. Right into the middle of the field. Excellent chance. And Penn State still hasn't scored, but they're going to get a turnover here since late in that third quarter. But Penn State gives it right back, and a huge check just came. Penn State's going to get possession back as Jack Traynor just got steamrolled down there in the restraining box. No penalty on that because there's no possession to Penn State's side, but Traynor will scoop that ball up and look for it.
Yeah, you can see it there. Just got run over by Cornell there. And Brenfleck, he was trying to find it over to Traynor. Cornell noticed it, didn't think his defensive partner was able to get there in time.
The backside Traynor needs to rip one. He was trying to go 5-hole on Cornell, but able to come up with the save. And time still of the essence for the Nittany Lions. They're down by 6 with 2.5 to go. Vermont looks to be well on their way to getting their first victory of the season. Tough ride coming. That's Brett Funk going hard against an offensive man, Patrick Murphy of Vermont, but a timeout taken by the Catamounts with 2:27 to go. They have a half-dozen goal lead on the Nittany Lions. We'll step away one more time. You're tuned in on Big Ten Plus, simulcast on Com Radio. .227 to go in the fourth quarter. It's Vermont 15, Penn State 9. You're tuned in on Big Ten Plus, simulcast with Com Radio. I'm Evan Papalis, joined alongside Matt Scalzo. And Matt, Penn State seems to fall to 1-2 at the end of this game today, but Vermont's going to match them if they're going to get their first victory of the season. How impressive have they been in this game to you?
Catamounts have been really impressive to me. They started out hot, controlling possession. They're doing it right now here as Penn State going on an all-out ride here, trying to force a turnover. But great job defensively. They've done an excellent job in the fourth quarter holding Penn State scoreless, forcing nothing inside. And here you see Charlie Pope be a beneficiary of that all-out ride. No Alaric Fayok in net, and able to capitalize with it.
Reisterstown, Maryland native Charlie Pope, the freshman, comes barreling in and puts it home. Like Matt said, no Fayok on the field. Penn State basically going with an extra short stick in that situation. And for the Nittany Lions, this is a tough pill to swallow, Matt. It just feels like they never got into a groove in this game. A ton of turnovers and unable to be successful at the face-off X. We'll see what they have to do here. But Tommy Burke, he's been very good in this game as he's trying to pinch in another one.
Yeah, they dominated from the get-go on that face-off circle here, and you'll see Penn State get a rare win here. It's only their 9th face-off win to Tommy Burke's 20. And you saw Penn State switch over to Hudson Bond in that second half. But, as you mentioned, nothing really clicked offensively. Weren't able to get in a rhythm. Passing wasn't crisp to begin with. Too many turnovers. Already found themselves in a big hole. There was no way to get back into it here. They found themselves down 2, but since then, Vermont scored every goal. That's 5 straight for them, and still no goals here for them in this fourth quarter.
Flag down on this play. This is a rip and a score. Dan Riome with the left hand again. Lets one fly from about 15 yards out. He's been excellent in this game for the Nittany Lions. They get into the double digits with 1:33 to go. It is 16-10. That's Riome's 4th goal of the contest. He's been excellent today. Nittany Lions, the rest of his teammates, have just not been able to match that intensity. He's the only multi-goal scorer as well for Penn State today.
Yeah, you saw it. Get that feed out in front, step down into it. Just a missile right down Broadway, able to get Penn State on the board here in this fourth quarter. Still down by 6.
That penalty's going to stand against Stone Jacobs, so this faceoff is 3v2 in favor of the Nittany Lions, and they're not going to come away with it for the time being. Ball still on the ground, both teams going back and forth. Possession was granted by the referees, still trying to scoop it up, and this one is flung down deep by Brett Funk. Penn State able to gain possession, though, as Jeb Brenflick has it. Gives it over to Trainer. Trainer with it in his right hand, right on the near side alley, and a timeout is taken again by Penn State, down by 6 goals with 1:07 to go. Matt will keep it right here. 35 seconds to work with on this man-up opportunity for the Nittany Lions. What are you thinking? It feels like time is just, there's too little of it remaining, but what do you think they have to do maybe to put 1 or 2 back home?
I think they just got to be quicker offensively, quicker with their passing. You know, they've had good passing, but Vermont, they're not letting anything inside, and they're probably going to keep it that way here in this final 67 seconds here. And it's just been a tough game offensively. And you look in the shot category here, Vermont's got 67 shots to Penn State's 30, and you can see those extra possessions started to mount in that second half. You saw it as it started in that first quarter. Vermont, just so many extra chances here. And then Penn State, you know, not able to capitalize in the few opportunities they've had. You know, we talked about it. Vermont's name of the game was going to be possession control, and they've done exactly that, winning at the faceoff dot, 21-9 in that category. And Penn State, they just haven't been able to find a way to control possession for any extended period of time.
The man that's been so good today, Tommy Burke for the Catamounts in the faceoff X New England Lacrosse Player of the Year in 2021. This is the first Catamount to ever earn that award. As a shot right out front is saved there by Cornell. Able to stay in that crease for 3 seconds before he has to step out. He does so now. Penn State still with that hefty ride, but able to beat it is Vermont. Coming down on the near side now is Patrick Murphy. Less than a minute remaining, down to 43 seconds in this one. Catamounts don't need to shoot anymore in this game. Fyock's still in the game, but it is a hefty double team from the Nittany Lions. Able to come away with it still are the Catamounts. The penalty has expired now, as Vermont was down a man there for that entire duration. Penn State able to come away with it. They'll try and break it out one last time in this contest. Sam Sweeney breaking it over that midfield line is Townsend into the attacking box, the restraining box. Trainer rolls over the top, looking for somewhere to go with the stick in his right hand. Able to keep his balance with 7 seconds remaining, trying to feed one down low, taken away from Vermont. This one is roped deep all the way down. Fyock will send it back one more time, and that will end this contest. Vermont able to get the victory today, and it was a pretty dominant fashion, 16-10. It felt like the Nittany Lions were going to claw their way back there in that third quarter. They went on a 4-0 run, but Vermont answered the bell right back, starting at the end of that third quarter, going into the fourth with a 4-0 run of their own. Able to come away with their first victory of the season after dropping their first 2 contests. They are now 1-2. After Penn State won their opening contest of the season, Matt, against Lafayette, they have dropped the previous 2 to Vermont today and Villanova overall. Next up on the schedule, you mentioned a little bit earlier in the broadcast, Penn State goes to St. Joe's, and coming